Hey everybody, I'm Mike with Adrenaline Barbecue Company, and today we're going to do a little steak cook-off out on the new Slow N Sear Kamado. It's going to be ribeye versus skirt steak. We're going to make some beautiful sandwiches. I'm going to top these with some of my favorite ingredients. It's coming up right now. So we've got our full chimney of coals warming up right now. Once those get hot, we'll dump those into our Slow N Sear. I'm going to get into the grill setup in just a moment. My plan for these steaks is to get a little bit of slow smoke on them, just a little bit, maybe just a few minutes. We're going to sear them off on the Slow N Sear at the end, and then we're going to build them. I've got some fresh deli rolls inside. I've got some peppers and onions that I sautéed really nicely with just some salt, pepper, and oregano. We're going to have some smoked provolone cheese on these sandwiches, a little bit of mozzarella, and my favorite thing is my hot Giardiniera mixture, which we're going to top this with. Now once these steaks are ready, we're going to bring them inside, slice them up, build these sandwiches, get everything on top, foil them up with some cheese, bring them back out here to get a melt going. So now that you know what we're going to do with these steaks, let's show you how we're going to set up this cooker. So for this cook, what I have is I have our Drip N Griddle here on top of the charcoal grate, and this is where we're going to get our smoke onto the steaks. There's going to be a little bit lower temperatures down here below the surface area, so we're going to get a few minutes of smoke on the steaks here. Once those are ready, we'll put our easy Spin Grate in place and we'll sear these steaks off to perfection. Now we've just got a couple more minutes on these coals and we'll be ready to start cooking. Okay, our coals are in and set. I want to show you my vent settings really quick. My top setting here I have open to just before 2. It's roughly about halfway here. My bottom vent setting I have open roughly about 1.5 inches. I want to keep those coals hot for a sear, but I also want to have a little bit of lower temperatures down in that area where we're going to have those steaks just to get a little bit of smoke on them first. Now that this is all set up, we're going to let it come up to temp and get inside and season those steaks. Alright, so the SnS Kamado is coming up to temp. I've got these beautiful pieces of meat here. What we have is about a 3/4 pound ribeye, and I've cut this skirt steak down to also about a 3/4 pound piece. So we're going to have equal amounts here, and we're going to fit as much of this into the sandwich as we can once we slice. Now all I did to prepare these was unpackage them and coat both sides with some kosher salt, place them on this rack uncovered in my fridge for about 24 hours. What this process does is it allows the salt to draw the moisture out of the meat, and then it all soaks back in, so every bite is going to be flavorful here. Now in addition to that salt, we're also going to be using our Not Just for Beef rub. Now what's great about this is there's no salt. We're going to get all the salt flavor from the salt brine we did overnight. This is simply just going to add a little bit more flavor. Let's go ahead and cover both sides. There's our ribeye, side 1, side 2. Now let's go ahead and get our skirt steak. And now our other side. Okay, these are ready to get outside. We're going to head out there, we're going to place these on that lower rack, get a little bit of smoke into them, get them up to about 110, 115 internal temp. Then we're going to sear these off, bring them inside, cut them up, and build these sandwiches. Let's get started getting these out on the grill. Alright, it's time to get these steaks on. Now I'm going to place a small chunk of hickory here in the coal basket. We're going to place our ribeye down here and our skirt. Now down there in that bottom area, they're going to be able to hang on a little bit longer and get some more smoke on them before we do the sear. So now let's get this lid covered and we are cooking. Okay, so my skirt steak hit temperature a little bit before the ribeye. Obviously there's a difference in thickness. So they're both sitting about 110, 115. It's time to go ahead and pull the ribeye now. Get our Spin Grate in place and start the sear. Now you can see that these are starting to sear. There's smoke and just glorious aromas coming off of here. Did I mention how much I love 2-zone cooking? Alright, now we are going to spin. And we are going to get that other side. All right, our skirt steak is good. We're just gonna finish off that ribeye. All right, these are looking great. We're gonna go inside, let these rest for just a couple minutes, and we're gonna get these sliced up. We're gonna build these sandwiches. All right, we've got these inside. We're gonna cut this ribeye in half and just see what it looks like, and we're gonna get everything sliced up here. We've got a nice, beautiful medium, maybe more towards the medium rare side. Oh yeah, just look at that. So I want to get these sliced up, and then we're going to build these sandwiches, and we're going to take them back outside and get them melt on. Okay, so I've got these sliced up. They are so aromatic, it's crazy. I can smell the smoke, I can smell the seasoning, obviously the steak. So now let's get these sandwiches built. And we're gonna melt these down in the cooker too as soon as we're done. So we're gonna start each one off with 2 slices of smoked provolone. Now let's get as much of this steak in here as we can. We've gotta leave room for some peppers and onions and some of my other favorite stuff. Start with a little steak, some beautiful peppers and onions. Go a little bit more steak here. Some more peppers and onions. And now, my favorite thing. It's one of my favorite toppings for anything. And one word, glorious. This is just a hot pepper mixture with some olive oil, basically. And a little bit more cheese right up on top here. Now let's do our ribeye. Top that off with a little cheese as well. Okay, so now I've just got a piece of foil here, and I just want to make a boat around these sandwiches just so I can carry them out and get a little bit of melt going out on the cooker. All right, let's get these back outside. So here we are. This is our ribeye, this is our skirt steak. We've got a good melt on these. I'm really excited to cut these open and taste both and see how good they really are. Let's cut this ribeye sandwich first. That's what we have. Absolutely beautiful. So there's our ribeye. Now the skirt steak. Here's the skirt. This is the favorite part of my job. First up is the ribeye. Cheers. Man, that is good. Here's our skirt steak. Once again, cheers. Okay, so the real winner here is me, because these are both delicious. But I have to pick one, so I'm gonna pick the ribeye, because the ribeye I just thought had more smoky flavor because it was able to stay on the smoke longer. It was a little bit more tender, and it just had a better bite and a better fit with this sandwich. So that's it for this video. I appreciate you stopping by Gentleman Barbecue Company and hanging out with me today for this cook. I really enjoyed it. I hope you did. Remember, 2 zones are better than 1, and I'll see you on the next video.